Welcome back to the broadcast. This is Inside Politics. We are talking about a lot of things today. We have been trying to make sense of the president's speeches at the Sagana State Lodge in the county of Nyeri, where he is on a 4-day visit trying to solidify that support base in Mount Kenya. That is his political backyard, as well as drum up support for the Building Bridges initiative that has been given the go-ahead by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission after attaining the mandatory 1 million signatures. We're also talking about what's happening in the Kenyan judiciary following the orders issued against Deputy Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu, as we wait what will be happening at the Court of Appeal tomorrow morning. Let's get your views. Let's go to the phone lines now. Let's begin with Dr. IMBUNYA Jane calling us all the way from Botswana. Dr. IMBUNYA, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you, Kitili, and your panel?
Thank you so much for calling in. What are your thoughts?
Yes, it's always a pleasure to watch you every Sunday. Allow me to just quickly address the issue of the president and Mount Kenya. I want to say here that I strongly believe some of us Kenyans are being very unkind and untruthful towards the president.
Right.
We all understand the too much noise that there has been about the BBI from the mountain. We know how much embarrassing it has been for the president. So for him acting as a human being and taking the step to go and talk to the people of the Mount, I believe he should be given a break, and that is what any other normal human being would do. Secondly, people are taking so much issue about the people from the Mount referring to the president as their kingpin. For heaven's sake, he is my president. I never voted for him, but I've come to really support him and love him. Those people in Mount Kenya are his people. That is where he comes from. And he's the senior-most civil servant in the Mount. So it goes without saying that he becomes their kingpin. So let's give him a break, let him put his house together. I am also waiting to see him visit my village in Shirere, Kakamega. And I know he will do it.
All right, Dr. let me ask you this.
Let me talk about, sorry?
Let me ask you this. Do you think the president will be able to differentiate or keep together the issue of BBI and his succession, in your opinion?
In my opinion, and I want to speak as a scholar, I have no reason to doubt my president. He has never spoken about succession. I strongly believe, and I trust him, that he wants this BBI to be his legacy. I have read that document. I've read it between the lines. Of course, there are little teething issues here and there, but you can see very clearly that looking back, he can see this is the only thing he lives for us as Kenyans. So let's give him a chance.
All right.
Yeah, and by the way, if I could add, no matter who the president wants to succeed him,
yes,
I agree with everybody else who says that I and you will decide who that person will be.
All right. Give us your thoughts on what's happening with the DCJ.
DCJ Mwilu. I just love the header you have put on her topic, the Mark II man. I talk about the rule of natural justice from the academic point, where when a student puts forward a case, the student has to argue out that point. The same applies for her. I'm not legal. I know nothing about the legal way of doing things, but I want to speak as a Kenyan. Let this lady be given a chance. Let her defend herself. It is so unfortunate. All the stones have been thrown to her. She is so strong. And if she's listening to me, I hope she gets these words from me. Philemona, Lady Justice, we can see there are so many people who are after your heart. But I want to say this. Keep going strong. Stand up and defend yourself. And don't let anyone push you in your space. That notwithstanding, if you have committed any wrong, you'll pay for them. But as it is now, be given that chance to become the next Chief Justice of Kenya. And please, just a second for me to say something about the violence. It truly pains me to see what is going on in Kenya. I would like to ask our politicians, why is it so difficult for them just to take a microphone and just talk to us like fellow Kenyans? They mustn't show their anger, threaten others. It was very ashamed to hear what Etesa said yesterday. Etesa telling a fellow Kenyan, a fellow Luya man, that if you do 1, 2, 3, you will not leave this place. Please, these people do not belong out there. Can they be thrown in and the keys thrown away? Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Dr. IMBUNYA Jane, calling us all the way from Gaborone.
Thank you very much.
In Botswana, and thank you for watching. Let's go to Amos Kiprop, calling us from the county of Nakuru. Amos, talk to us.
Hello. Hello, Ben.
Yes, Amos, we can hear you.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. Can you hear me? We seem to be having a problem with the Kiprop's line. We seem to have lost him. We shall be trying to reconnect with Amos Kiprop. Remember, our studio lines are scrolling at the bottom end of your screen. You call us. We will call you back. We shall try to call Amos Kiprop back. Let's not turn our attention to Bungoma and talk to Leonard Nyongesa. Leonard, how are you?
Niko poa.
Tuongeleshe, unafikiri maoni yako ni yapi kuhusu mada ya leo?
Kuhusu maneno ya BBI,
Naam.
mimi naona ile document haiko sawa. Juu kama ingekuwa kitu poa, hakuna maneno ya tuseme kupatiana hongo ama president achukue muda siku 4 huko kwao kwa Mount Kenya huko, kumaanisha hii kitu watu wameikataa. Na hii kitu kama watalazimisha ipite,
Naam.
huku chini tutaiangusha. Hii kitu si mzuri. Kwa maoni yangu ni hiyo.
Sasa iki
Alafu kitu ingine ni juu ya huyu nani?
Deputy Chief Justice.
Ya. Hii ni kitu politics hope na wale majaji wenzao ambao wanamezea kile kiti cha Chief Justice. Wale ndo wanasukuma ile kesi ndo wamzuie mpake matope, so that wakikuja ile process ya kuingiza ile Chief Justice awe na matope ndo asifaulu kuingia hapo.
Okay,
alafu kitu ingine,
kwa hivyo ni siasa kwa maoni yako?
Ya, ni siasa. Alafu kitu ingine, ile uchaguzi wa 2022 ni kitu waweke pale kesi, maybe huyu chake ako either side ya kieleweke, ama tanga.
Asante. So ni kama wana revisit. Unaona ni kama wana revisit.
Ya kabisa, wana revisit ndo amzuie, maybe anaweza leta shida ile maneno ya kesi ikikuja ya 2020.
Asante sana kwa maoni yako, Leonard. Leonard Nyongesa calling us from the county of Bungoma, saying that even if they pass it at the county assemblies and in parliament, they will shoot it down at the ballot. That is the view of Leonard Nyongesa. Let's talk to GYAN WAHOME now, calling us from the county of Nyeri. GYAN, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
Hello, say hi to the panel, and thank you very much.
You are in Nyeri today. Have you gone to Sagana?
Yes. I was in Sagana the first day. I was there yesterday.
Talk to us.
Today, the president is also meeting the young people in Sagana. So
talk to us.
After I'm done with the call, I'll go there.
All right.
Now, then, the mountain has awakened. And before I react to what happened in Sagana, let me first of all react to Raila's entry in Gaborone and really address the political intolerance we saw. Then it's so sad for politicians in this country can plan that the person and the person of the status of Raila Odinga cannot have a successful rally in Central Province. We need to be tolerant and learn to disagree by providing alternative solutions and views rather than using hooliganism. Democracy requires us to allow those of different opinion from ours to sell and advance their views.
Yes.
Peacefully. As much as we might agree with them or not. The two different political sides, Kieleweke and Tangatanga, have equal right to campaign anywhere in Kenya from whatever reason, may it be BBI or 22 politics. So I want to really condemn what politicians like Moura went ahead to issue youths.
All right.
Now,
talk to us, Sagana, because of time, Jen.
Ben.
Yes.
Our king and our leader has called the mountain to order. And we must listen, Ben. I don't understand why a document like the BBI that is meant to benefit our region and give it 55 billion annually, that somebody can come in the region and tell this document is not good for us. Just this, I've had a doctor calling from Botswana. He's not from my region, but he's supporting the document because of the content. Because of the content. I've had President Uhuru Kenyatta, who I had my own reservations about his leadership style, and I've talked to this show. And I had a change of mind there because I saw an individual who loves this country. Today, as the head of state, is amongst his people. He's also the head of state. I've seen people peddling rumors that it is tribal. Yes, our politics revolves around tribal, but the president cannot also allow his region to be misled by people who want to sell a different agenda.
Before I let you go, GYAN, tell me this. How confident are you, after attending the meeting in Sagana, how confident are you that the draft bill will be passed by county assemblies, the 10 of them, from Central Region?
Ben, if you saw the might and the resources and the leaders, leave alone the busybodies that you've been seeing working with the deputy president, the real representative of the people who are here in Sagana. And I can confidently tell you this document will pass in Central without any problem.
Thank you.
Lastly, Ben.
30 seconds, please.
10 seconds. Today, the president is meeting the young people. And these are the things we are asking. We cannot be told to reject the BBI because of wheelbarrows when the BBI is giving us 7 years tax holiday for the business. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, GYAN, for your thoughts. GYAN WAHOME calling us from Sagana, telling us what has been happening there and the thoughts of people from that particular place. Thank you, GYAN. Let's get one final call from Margaret Kembu, calling from Vihiga. Margaret, habari ya leo? We seem to have lost Margaret there, but many thanks for all of you who called, for the people who couldn't speak to. We apologize for that. We hope we can speak to you next time. Many thanks for your calls. Let me go to the panelists for their final thoughts now. Let me begin with you, Rosalind. 60 seconds.
I just want to talk to Kenyans that as much as we are talking about the BBI bill, we need to take our time, read it, because we should not leave it to politicians. We know it's already in the county assemblies now. Politicians will always differ, but their interests always converge. So because of that, let us focus and see, is this the document we want? And if it's what we want, let us support it. We are going to the juncture for politics. And I think this is the first time that as a country we can actually change the narrative of politics and have a politics of issues, not politics of individuals, not politics of regions. Because this country is for the future. It's not for the leaders who are here.
Thank you, Rosalind. Dismas.
I'd like to agree with what Obala has indicated, that as we look at the 2022 scorecard, we need to give power to those Kenyans who have demonstrated a strong track record of understanding our issues and offering solutions, especially monetary issues and fiscal issues, because our economy is headed south, the economy is bleeding. Wanjigo can no longer afford 3 meals a day, and Mora is bleeding. We must run away from populist leaders who are behaving like, snake oil salesmen. They have embraced these toxic politics, and they are a threat to our national security. So if in 2022 we go to the ballot and elect leaders who are a threat to our national security, we should have ourselves to blame for the next 10 years, because those are self-inflicted wounds. And it's the same thing which is happening in the US today. A number of people decided to elect Trump because he's a populist leader. He created a mess, and you see today the new president, Biden, is cleaning tables at White House every single day. He's issuing an executive order every single day. We must not be in that position in 2022.
Mark Bichache, before you give me your final remarks, there's an ardent viewer who wants you to answer a question here. It's called Teddy Malesi. In political sloganeering and symbolism, all manner of tools and images are used. Others, like Wiper, have an umbrella. ODM have an orange. KANU have a cockerel. NARC Kenya have flowers, and Ford Kenya have a lion. And nobody asks how these symbols will improve livelihoods or the economy. So why is the wheelbarrow getting a beating from the detractors?
Well, the wheelbarrow is getting a beating because they're actually donating wheelbarrows and saying that they will change the lives of people. You do not see Martha Karua handing out flowers, neither does Kalonzo Musyoka say that if we all fall under the umbrella that he's distributing, the weather will be better in this country. It is the fact that the wheelbarrow has replaced nanotechnology, has replaced research, and now we want to convince Kenyans just because they're informally employed that the donation of wheelbarrows and this kind of Senko rescue team kind of politics is what they need. This is a whole-scale lie. And these are the kind of lies that the wheelbarrow movement has become popular with. Let me give you another lie they perpetuate. They say that if we are unable to distribute 15%, I do not know when Kenya was unable to meet its obligations. We can be late, but we've never failed to. And they say then we cannot do 35%.
All right.
Well, I'd like to do a bit of mathematics and say that 100% is 100%, and you can distribute anything out of 100% because it is not an addition to what we are collecting. It's simply a redistribution of resources. It is called division. It is not addition. The second thing they lie about is say there's extra people in parliament, the constitution will not work. Let's be clear. We have the same thing in these current constitutions. MCAs are nominated to meet the 2/3 gender rule. If we're going to fix our country, let's fix all of it.
Thank you for answering that question. Now, in 30 seconds, give me your final thoughts. 30 only.
My final thoughts are this, that as a country, we find ourselves at a crossroad between the purveyors of fake news and false hope and actual practical solutions to our country. We have to choose today between the wheelbarrow and nanotechnology. While we are forming a space agency, some of us are being told that guess what, technology that is older than the bicycle is what will take us to the future. Let me warn my fellow Kenyans. We must look forward and not behind. Let us not be lied to.
Thank you. Kipchumba Karori, your final thoughts.
I think, Ben, today my final thoughts goes to the soul and the heart of this nation as to head towards the next general election, which is 18 months from now. And what we must ask from none other than the president is that he must promote what we call Republican nationalism, the nationalism that stands tall above the tribe, the nationalism that stands tall above the identity politics. It is not in the place of a president to derive popularity by going to ethnic nationalism. It is in his place to make sure that the first legacy any president leaves behind is the legacy of living a united and harmonious country. You cannot leave behind a country as prosperous as it might be that is not in unity. We cannot go that direction. We need to learn from history and learn from it that a nation rises not in the strives of the tribes, but in the unity they choose to pursue. Let us build a nation for our future.
Thank you, lawyer and political strategist Kipchumba Karori, communication strategist Mark Bichache, a senior reporter at The Standard, Rosalind Obala, and political risk analyst Dismas Mokua. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming into studio and sharing your thoughts with us today. Always a pleasure having you in studio. I'm Ben Kitili. Many thanks for watching Inside Politics, Kenya's premier Sunday morning political broadcast, where, as always, we dissect the biggest political and policy issues in the Republic. Keep the conversation ongoing on Twitter. The hashtag is Inside Politics. Join us every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Bye for now.